I want to be a father, Daniel repeated, more firmly this time. I thought I never would, but now, I don't know. I feel like something is missing. I see other people with their kids, and it feels like maybe that's what I want too. Sofia's eyes filled with tears, but they weren't the soft kind. They burned. You promised me, she said in a low voice. You swore we would never do this. You knew who I was. You knew what I wanted. Daniel leaned forward, his face pleading. I know. I thought I wanted the same. But people change. Sof, I've changed. Her hands shook as she pulled the blanket tighter around herself, as if it could protect her from his words. And what about me? I haven't changed. I don't want to give up everything for a baby. I don't want that life. He reached for her hand, but she pulled it back. Please, listen to me, he said softly. I love you. I want to grow with you. I don't want this dream to end, but, his voice cracked. But I can't stop this longing. I want us to have a family. Sofia turned her face away, her chest heavy with grief. She had never felt so betrayed, not by another woman, not by a lie, but by the breaking of a promise that had been the foundation of their love. She whispered, her voice shaking, and if I say no? Daniel swallowed hard. Then I don't know what happens to us. The words echoed in her mind like thunder. The rain outside grew louder, tapping against the glass, as if the night itself was crying with her. For the first time since she had met him, Sofia wondered if their love was strong enough to survive. Sofia was raised by her grandmother in Trinidad. She had lost both her parents when she was very young. Sofia was an only child and believed that a curse was placed on her family. She would have the same fate if she has any children. Though she is now living in Canada, Sofia had always believed that her destiny was already set. When Sofia met Daniel, it seems like the stars aligned to her already designed destiny, no children. Her grandmother died when she was already living in Canada. She was her only close family member. She is 24, same age as Daniel, had graduated from the School of Fashion, Art and Design. Her arts and designs back in high school had won her a scholarship to study in Canada. She channeled all her energy and imagination into her visual art. She also likes to express herself in writing. Daniel works as a data entry clerk at a small tech company. He is smart, gentle, handsome, yet bold and outspoken. Daniel and Mark had gone to the same college together and stayed close friends after graduating. The days after Daniel's confession felt heavy, as though a storm cloud had settled over their home. Sofia tried to smile, tried to cook meals, tried to laugh at his jokes, but inside her chest, something ached and refused to rest. At night, she lay awake beside him. Daniel slept with his back turned, his breathing steady, while Sofia's mind ran wild. He promised me. We built our lives on that promise. How can I give him what I never wanted? She pressed her hands against her stomach, imagining it swollen, imagining herself holding a child. The thought made her heart race, not with joy, but with fear. She thought of sleepless nights, of losing her freedom, of the dreams she and Daniel once shared fading into dust. But then she thought of him, his pleading eyes, his voice, trembling with desire for something she could not feel. She loved him more than her own freedom. The thought of losing him felt like a knife pressed against her skin. One evening, as they ate dinner in silence, Daniel finally spoke. "You're quiet." Sofia forced a smile. "I'm just tired." He reached for her hand. "Sophie, I don't want to push you, but I can't deny this feeling. It's growing stronger every day." Her throat tightened. She wanted to scream at him, to tell him he had betrayed her. Instead, she nodded weakly, tears stinging her eyes. "I know." That night, she went to the bathroom and locked the door. She sat on the floor, knees pulled to her chest, and cried until her body shook. "I can't do this," she whispered into the silence. "But I can't lose him either." For weeks, she lived in torment. At work, her coworkers laughed and talked about their weekends, but Sofia barely heard them. At home, Daniel tried to be gentle, but his eyes carried disappointment, as if she were holding back something that belonged to him. Her dreams became restless. She dreamed of traveling, of mountains and seas, only for them to vanish into cries of a baby she could not come. Sofia was torn in two, between the woman she had always been and the woman Daniel wanted her to become. And with each passing day, she felt herself slipping closer to surrender. The weight of the decision pressed on Sofia until she could hardly breathe. Every morning she woke with dread, every night she went to bed with tears hidden in her pillow. Daniel tried to be patient, but his silence grew louder, and the distance between them stretched like a rope pulled too tight. One Sunday afternoon, they sat together in the small park near their apartment. Children ran past them, laughing, chasing bubbles that floated in the air. Daniel watched them with a soft smile, his eyes full of longing. Sofia followed his gaze. She wanted to shake him, to remind him of their promise, to scream that she had given him her whole heart already. Wasn't that enough? But instead, she whispered, "You really want this, don't you?" Daniel turned to her, his face lighting up with hope. "Yes, more than anything." Sofia's chest tightened. She looked down at her hands, twisting the silver ring he had given her years ago. Her voice cracked as she said, "Then, we can try." Daniel froze. "Are you serious?" Tears welled in her eyes, but she forced a smile. "Yes, if it means that much to you. I'll do it." In an instant, his arms were around her. He kissed her forehead, her cheeks, her lips. "You won't regret this, Sophie. We'll be a family. It'll be beautiful. I promise." She nodded, though her throat ached with unshed tears. That night, Daniel was more tender than he had been in months. He touched her gently, whispered words of love, held her close as though she was his world. For a moment, Sofia let herself believe in his dream. She told herself, "Maybe I'll change. Maybe when the child comes, I'll feel what he feels." But deep inside, a quiet fear whispered back, "You're giving up the life you wanted. And once it's gone, you can never get it back." Still, she silenced that voice, burying it under her love for him. She told herself she could bend without breaking. She told herself love was worth any sacrifice. And so, with trembling heart and reluctant hope, Sofia stepped into a future she never wanted, only because Daniel asked her to. The first months were the hardest. Sofia's body changed in ways she wasn't ready for. Morning sickness left her weak, nights were restless, and food she once loved turned her stomach. She stood in front of the mirror sometimes, holding her belly, whispering, "I didn't want this. I'm scared." Daniel tried at first. He brought her ginger tea for the nausea, rubbed her back when she cried, kissed her forehead and said, "It'll be worth it, Soph. Trust me." And for a while, she believed him. As the months passed, her belly grew, and with it came moments of awe. The first time she felt the baby kick, her hand flew to her stomach. She gasped, her eyes wide. "Daniel!" She moved. He rushed to her side, pressing his hand to her skin. His face lit up with wonder. "That's our baby. Our little miracle." Sofia smiled faintly, though her heart was divided. The child inside her felt real, alive, but her fears still lingered like shadows. Soon, though, Daniel's attention began to shift. Work consumed him. He came home later, tired and distracted. When Sofia tried to tell him about the aches in her back or the strange dreams she had, he often muttered, "I'm exhausted. Sophie, can we talk later?" Later never came. To be continued in part 3. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Bye.